Get ready to get sticky. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Corona Crush is creating Jewish couples always. Join the Facebook group. Just search Corona Crush and look out for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. They're 100% free and 100% Jewish. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Sticky Situations. I'm your host, Rachel, which you already know because I'm unforgettable. Everyone, right now, go whatever platform you're listening on, go give us a 5-star rating. If you're on Apple Podcast or another platform that allows for it, give us a glowing review. We only want good things to say. If you have bad things to say, you could tell me in my DMs. You could come up to me in shul. I don't care. I love feedback. You could tell me. Just don't post negative content for the world to see. There's enough negativity in the world. We don't need to create more. Go like Sticky Situations page on Facebook, follow Sticky Situations Pod on Instagram, follow Sticky Situations Pod on TikTok. If you would like to be a guest on my podcast, there are applications in the socials. I put the application link in my Corona Crush posts. Also, you could just send me a DM on Instagram. Again, that's Sticky Situations Pod, or send me an email at stickysituationspod@gmail.com. I will read my DMs and my emails. So if you can't find the application, just send a DM or an email. Same goes for if you want to date any of my single guests on the podcast, just reach out. I'll try to set you up as best as I can. I want to be a matchmaker, so let's try this. If you hear someone you're interested in, let me know. I'll try to make it happen for you. Okay, guys, I have such an exciting episode today, and this has been a long time coming. We're all excited about this. The whole Sticky Situations team and anyone who I've told about this. So we're just going to get right to it. So I have a really, really, really extra special guest today. Everyone, please welcome to the podcast, my favorite doorman. Well, one of my favorite doormen. Richie, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, man, it's good to be on, man. It's like you said, it's a long time coming. I'm just happy to be here. Let's do it. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Richie always talks to me about dating. So I don't know. I don't know if whoever lives in doorman buildings or in New York City in apartment buildings, you just have you come in from a date, from an event, and you're just like, oh, I have a lot to say. So I tell all that to Richie when I walk in the door. And he always has good advice, good wisdom, and he's been I talk about where the neighborhood that I live in a lot. I have a lot of friends who come on the podcast from my neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that has a huge religion, modern Orthodox Jewish young scene. A lot of singles, a lot of dating going on. So Richie has seen a lot, and he's come on to tell you guys his favorite stories. But before we get into Richie's stories, he's not off the hook for giving his basic information. So Richie, can you tell my listeners your age, location, relationship status, and religious denomination?
Absolutely. Well, nice to meet you guys. I'm Richie. You can call me the Richie, or Richie, whatever one feels good with you. I am 29 years of age. My birthday's in July. I turned 30 in July. And I'm currently in Brooklyn, and I am of Catholic faith right now.
So it must be interesting. But Richie knows a lot about the Jews, a lot about Judaism.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, man. Working with you guys, I've worked in our community for about 10 years. So, I'm one of you guys, man. I'm family at this point, man.
Yeah. He's an honorary Jew. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Yes, honorary Jew. Okay, so Richie, let's get right into it.
Do it.
Okay. So, I don't know, do you want to share your favorite stories, your craziest stories? I'll let you decide which ones you want to share in which order.
I guess I'll start with one of my faves. There was this one young lady that lived in the building. She was awesome, man. And, I think she wanted something so bad. And, when we want something so bad, typically it's hard to come by, you know? And from what I've learned, in a lot of the young ladies is that they want something that's established. They want something that's there. that's ready. You don't want anyone that's young guy who's not who doesn't have his things together and whatnot. And I completely understand that. But when I would sometimes hear these pitches and when I would hear the descriptions that of what such and such would want, in my mind, I'm like, I'm giving all the right shots, giving them all the right pointers, but I know as a man, I know how men are. Sometimes we don't always have it together. But there was this one time a young lady met somebody, and things were going well, and she was telling me all about it, and I was happy for her. Things were going super well, and I think a day or two later, I don't know if she was moving too fast, but I think she kind of scared the guy away. At least that's what I kind of told her, because I think she kind of was moving in such a way that not everybody sometimes is ready to move in that fast at that pace. They want to, wait, let's not meet the parents yet, or no, I don't. Maybe I'm not ready to go to Shabbat and meet some of your friends yet. Maybe I'm a little nervous to do that. So I think that was the case there. But she ended up coming back to the building because she moved out, and she ended up married. She has a beautiful family. She has, I think, about 3 or 4 kids now. It made my day the moment that I saw her again. But it was just one of those instances, and one of the many stories that I've come across. It's just in life when you want something so bad, you can kind of screw it up, but you just gotta have some patience. That's the one thing I always kind of preach to you guys. It's just, guys, take your time. You're gonna meet him. He's there. You're looking for him, and he's looking for you. You guys are just running opposite directions. So it always happens. It's always like that. But that one was funny. It was adorable. I felt so bad. She really was into this individual, and she kind of shook the champagne too fast. The bottle popped too quick.
So she didn't end up married to him.
No, no, I don't think it was this young guy. I think this might have been a different young man. But things worked out. That was the point. To her, it was just take it easy, and relax, laugh, use your charm. All of you guys are beautiful. I love when you guys get dressed up. It makes my night. It makes my day when I see you guys all dressed up with your makeup on. It's awesome, man. Because you guys are putting out your best, and you're looking for the best, and you deserve that. So I love that.
Do you ever get surprised? Like you said, you see us all dressed up. Like you probably know when we're going out to a date or something, an event or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, when we're all like made
Sure.
up, dressed up. Do you ever see the girl and then like see the guy come up to the door and be like, "Oh,
Um, like what do you mean? Like, oh, like she looks too good for him kind of thing,
yeah,
or
yeah."
oh heck yeah, man. Look, like you know, not heck yeah, but me being so close to you guys in that sense, from like a brotherly standpoint, my standards are highest for you guys, man. I see you guys all the time. I care, I don't want just some random guy to, pick you guys up. I want you guys to be courted correctly. I want you guys to be treated with respect. I think you guys should, your Prince Charming's out there, I think, and you deserve a Prince Charming. I think we all do. And for the men, I think they deserve a nice, beautiful young lady out there too. For the fellas on the podcast, um, but yeah, yeah, I do. I find myself checking him out, making sure, is this guy a weirdo? How does he look? But everything always turns out well for you guys. Not, you know what I mean, in terms of there's not any crazy, you know super crazy moments, because thankfully I've never had to deal with anything like that. There's never been any moments like, hey buddy, watch it. It's nothing, never anything like that ever.
Yeah, and I guess it always like makes me feel better knowing that like if I did end up with like some guy and like he was walking me home and things were like I thought it would be bad, like I know I could just be like, "Oh, Richie, I need help." Like
No,
coming back into
yeah,
the building, like, "Do not let this guy come upstairs with me."
absolutely, absolutely. I got that. That's what. Listen, there's been instances like that. I've had some of the young ladies say that, where, not saying like the date has gone extremely bad, but she just doesn't want to talk to the guy. Hey, Richie, I just finished this date. If this guy comes by, tell him I went to go see friends, or don't tell him I'm upstairs. It's happened before. It happens. And if it does, yeah, sorry, buddy. Have I seen it? No. Sorry. Yeah, no. Have a good night. And they leave. There's never any moment when any gentleman has been persistent, and I'm happy about that.
That's good.
Yeah,
Makes me
yeah.
feel a little better.
Right?
Makes me feel better.
She's like,
Yeah.
good. Like, they better not be. Nah, yeah, yeah. Nah, there's never been any instances like that. And that also too makes me feel good that you guys, confide in me like that, or trust. I want not confide in me, but trust me like that. I know it is my job, but you guys don't necessarily have to give me all of that, detail enough to, because not always my business. So it does make me
Yeah.
feel like, all right, let me puff my chest out.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully I've never had anything crazy, but I remember one time I had a situation. He didn't actually know where I lived, so I was just like being a
Mm.
little bit crazy about it. But I had a
Mhm.
guy who threatened me and he knew what neighborhood I lived in. And I
Oh man,
remember going, this is like a year and a half ago, maybe like
really?
last summer, not this past summer, the one before. Yeah, and I told you. I like came down and I
What?
was like, "Richie, if anybody comes over, don't let any male up to my apartment."
Oh man, listen, I know I was ready. I was there, ready,
Yeah.
willing, and able. I had my cape on, man.
Thankfully, thankfully I don't think he knew where I lived and I think he was just all talk and like he wasn't going to come to get me, but like,
Typically, that's what happens. You gotta ignore him. He's just bitter.
yeah. So wait, are you prepared to like beat someone up if you have to?
I mean, I would hope so. I would never want it to ever boil down to that. But in any in any position, I would hope if it has to come down to it, I hope I can defend myself. But I would never want to ever be put in that position, though. Especially at the building and whatnot. It's a family spot, a lot of lovely people in there, and I don't think there would ever be a time where that would be necessary. If I'm being honest with
Yeah, that's true, because you'd probably just call the police
you.
if someone was,
Exactly.
like, really trying to come up. Like, I'm sure you have
Yeah.
protocol for that.
Oh yeah, exactly. And honestly, I know how to. I can pretty. I think I could talk anybody off of any situation if they feel they're upset. Like, dude, relax, buddy. Come on. Like, is I think I got it.
Yeah. Good, that makes me feel more at ease. And
Yeah,
if somebody wants to
yeah.
come up during the daytime, good luck, because I'm not gonna be home, and,
It's
um,
Fort Knox during the daytime. You know that.
yeah. No, our daytime doorman is not gonna let anyone up.
He
Our
don't
I
play, man. We got it on lock in our building.
No, I honestly I hurt my foot a few months ago, and one of
Hmm.
my friends came by during the day to bring me something because I could not walk.
Hmm.
And the daytime doorman, who has seen, I don't know if he's actually seen my friend, but like he made it my friend like buzz up. I'm like, I can't get up to like do the buzzer. Like I had like left my door unlocked like the last time I had to get up so I could minimize my getting up because I couldn't walk. So I'm
Hmm.
literally calling my friend. I was like, I can't get up to do the buzzer. My
Hmm.
friend was like, I'm trying to tell him that you are injured and you can't get up. I was like, just put him on the phone. I'll tell him. So yeah.
That's too funny. That's funny. Well, I'm glad you're better, dude. Oh my god, oh man, everyone's getting hurt lately. Everywhere I look, someone's got crutches or something like that.
Yeah, no, that was like a miserable like month or so of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so Richie, let's hear some more of your stories.
Let's see. Let's see what else. What else is out there? Um, uh, one thing. Listen, the one thing I have to say, dude, you guys can bake, man. The Jewish women can bake. Oh my God, that's the one thing. Oh my goodness, you guys can bake. I like during my time, all the snacks, like the challah bread, like that's my favorite one. That with like some milk, warm milk, is incredible. Like this is why I'm like, dude, these guys need to get their stuff together. Find a nice young lady, get your act together. She's gonna bake for you. You're gonna get taken care of, man. The Jewish women in the community are gonna hold you down, man. So that's the one thing I've realized too. You guys are awesome with that too. Oh man, the bacon's is off the hook. Um, and you guys are just lovely. Everything, you guys are lovely. You guys are great, very respectful. You guys treat me with love. I feel it all the time. Oh man, and that another story I have too, that I met this young lady, and she always told me, she's like, look, I have to stay within, when I want to marry, I want to marry within my religion. I was like, hey, you know I don't, because I think I don't necessarily know if she was just attracted to only Jewish men. I don't know how it necessarily works. Maybe you can educate me on that.
Sure.
Does it necessarily, yeah, does it have to stay amongst Jewish men necessarily?
I mean, I guess it depends on your level of observance. I would
Okay.
say in general, it's pretty much ingrained within a lot of the people, no matter the level of observance, to
Okay.
marry Jewish, to just keep
Mm-hmm.
continuing on the Jewish traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the old days, like our grandparents always told our parents to marry Jewish, our parents always tell
Yeah,
us to marry
that
Jewish.
makes sense.
I think definitely more these days people assimilate, which I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I can't give my opinion on that. It's like
Yeah.
it's not my business.
Mm-hmm.
But coming from my standpoint, I am more observant. Like I'm modern Orthodox, like most of my
Mm-hmm.
friends. So I could never see myself going out of my faith to marry.
Okay.
It's not saying that I don't think that not I all the time I talk about how like these non-Jewish guys are so much nicer, they're so much more respectful to women, like
Mm-hmm.
and all these Jewish guys are kind of trash, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm for me personally, I'm looking to marry only Jewish and within that even like only someone close to my level of observance, which
Okay.
I
No,
think
no, that,
a
go ahead,
lot of
sorry.
the members of the community are similar.
Oh yeah, and it's no. That was what I was gonna get to. It was just I was confusing myself and tripping over my words, because she always used. It was kind of similar to what you said. I had a tenant one time. Oh, she always used to. We used to talk about dating advice and whatnot, and she was
Mhm.
looking, and she always used to joke with me and say, "Richie, why are you Jewish? I wish you were Jewish. You got to convert." We used to laugh about it, and she used to say, much to some similar things to your point, where it's like, no, because you get it. Sometimes it's within our culture. That some of our guys, they're just a certain way, and it's not necessarily their fault. And I'm like, you just said it. You got to give him a chance. It's not really his fault. Maybe he's just raised a certain way, so he's seeing things this way. Give him a chance. But I
Yeah.
understand how it can be tough. Because again, we all, at the end of the day, no matter what tradition is, we all want what we want. So
Yeah.
that's why it does become difficult, because you're kind of looking for something that, not saying it's not there, because it absolutely is. It absolutely is. It's just, it's to your standards. So,
Yeah.
and it'll come. It'll come.
Do you ever like hear us talking about standards and think that we have absolutely ridiculous standards?
No, because that's your standards. People listen. You can't. That's because you know what it is. If you don't have those standards, you end up settling. You should never
Yeah.
have to settle. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? That's like just to make it to make it funny. Like I mean, I don't know your preference, but if you put a McDonald's cheeseburger in front of me and some fettuccine alfredo next to it, I'm gonna go for the fettuccine. I'm not gonna settle for the burger. You know what I mean? Why would you
Mhm.
settle for less? If you like something, you take what you like. Don't sell yourself short because it's quick and easy. No, you shouldn't do that. Or not necessarily because it's quick and easy, but just because you want something. No, because then you know what ends up happening. You get with this individual, right? Because you're like, damn, I've been looking for, 10 years or whatever the number is. It doesn't matter. We're all young at the end of the day. All we have is time. But
Mhm.
you end up rushing something, right? Now you're married. You have kids. Now in 2 years or 5 years, you guys hate each other or you dislike each other. Hate is a strong word. Then you end up getting a divorce. That you never really want that to be the case.
Yeah.
We I think if we all want it, we would like it to be, obviously we want it to be perfect and whatnot. But when you end up settling, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up in that side of, damn, what, sorry, it's not gonna work out. Now now your kids, you got separated. It's just tough, and that's why I say it's not good to settle. And just you guys should have these standards. Don't settle for a bum, as my mom would say. Or like she would tell my sister, don't look at somebody who's not up to par. Straight up.
Would you ever like let's say you see like one of the people in our building, a male or a female, and you see them bringing someone around as we do when we're dating people. If you ever first of all, do you ever think like, wow, that person is settling?
Hmm.
And if you did, would you ever say something to one of us if you thought that?
Truthfully, it depends. It depends because settle because I don't know. That's tough because to be honest, I don't see any of you guys ever doing something like that. Truthfully, I feel like you guys have a lot of respect for yourselves. I don't think you guys will ever bring, a guy who's not gonna, check all the lists before he even walks through the door. I truly feel that way. But for people like you, for instance, I think I would. I think I would say, hey, look, I don't know about this guy. Like if let's say if he's leaving one day and he's like, he's cursing or something like that. He's mumbling under his breath, or he just looks unhappy. I think I would take notice of that, and I think I would probably just, hey, look, when I don't want to be a snitch, as they say, or like an informant. But at the end of the day, like I know you, I don't know this guy. If I
Yeah.
if I see he's leaving the building and he's pissed off or something like that, I'm gonna let you know, like, hey, such and such was leaving and he was really upset. I just want to let you know. I don't know if something happened, but I think I would say so. Or if I overhear a conversation on the phone and he's talking, wrongly of you or anybody, I think I would say something. I think I would speak up. I think I would feel inclined to do so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always wondered, like, I don't bring so many guys around. There has but I in the time I've lived in the same building for a few years, there have been a few guys. Only one of them I thought was questionable. I always
Mm-hmm.
wondered if you thought he was questionable too. I don't even know if you remember. It was probably
Mm,
a little
probably
over
not.
a year ago. I he only came
Uh,
around a couple times. Even if it's only like once or twice and you see something, it's I don't know. I always was like, "Oh, I'm sure Richie's judging me right now for this
no, never.
decision."
That's another thing. I listen. I never, ever, ever. I have this rule, right? When I first started working, I had this rule because this is like one of my first times working in the building. And one time there was a couple who came in the building and they get in the elevator and I look on the camera and they're going to town. And I'm just like, oh, all right. So after that, right, I had this rule to never look at any elevator. No, like, obviously when people are coming in, don't look at the elevators. Don't I just basically withhold zero judgment because I'm gonna see everybody every day, so it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? That's what I'm
Mhm.
basically. I'm like stuttering and trying to make sense of this, but I hope I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, like it doesn't bother me. All that to say that, like, it doesn't bother me. Like I'm not judging anybody. I don't care. At the end of the day, all I want is for you guys to be safe. Like I don't care about anything else. I'm not judging anybody. So that was like in the beginning, like one of my first weeks there. I will never forget this because I was like, oh man, all right. And after that, I was like, oh, this is normal. This is life. I was like 20 at the time though. I was a kid. I was a baby. So, so now I'm like, you know what? This is life. Who am I to judge, Who am I to
Yeah.
judge?
Do you ever, when you see us, like, going out on dates and stuff, do you ever, like, watch the outside area to see, like, what happens when we come home? Like,
Not always.
all
That's
the,
that's
like, awkward
I love.
goodbyes?
You see, nah, look. This is just like the elevator. Cause like I don't always, cause I feel like I'm embarrassing you guys if I look. I feel like I don't want to look, cause I feel like a dad or something. I'm like looking, cause I'm like the doorman. The doorman's like the protector or like whatever, and I don't want like the date or whoever the guy or the girl to feel like intimidated, cause I'm like, hey, who's this guy or so I kind of try to tuck back. I'll take notice, but I'll never like glare and make it obvious because I don't want to mess anything up, any moments or anything like that. Or like, look, I date around. If I'm if I'm entering a moment where I feel like I'm about to get intimate with the young lady and whatnot, I'm probably gonna want a little bit of privacy. So I kind of relate that to you guys. You guys might get romantic and might want to lay a smooch real fast. I don't want to just be staring. That's like so weird. I don't want to do that, so I try to make it as comfortable for you guys as possible. Like, dude, funny. This is actually a pretty funny story. I remember. Well, it's funny to me only because like the guy was like so dramatic about it. One time there was a young tenant who used to live in the building. It was a guy, and he had brought a date back, and he was talking to her outside of our building. And this, because yeah, he was talking to his date outside the building. One thing led to another. A tenant comes outside and he sees them outside sharing a moment, and he comes back in. He's like, "Oh, there's these people outside, and they're all hugged up in front of the building." And I'm like, "Dude, relax, bro. That they're just they're loving each other right now. That's it. Don't bother them, dude. It's not a big deal. Like I understand, I get it. It's like 11 o'clock at night. Just go upstairs. Just leave them alone." So like that's kind of my point. It doesn't bother me. Other people might make a big deal out of it, but I'm not trying to bother anybody. It's none of my business. And if I only look out there if I hear something and it gets crazy, then I have to. Then it's my business. But other than that, no, I try not to.
Has anybody like done their like awkward goodbye in the lobby instead of right outside?
Dude, it's happened before. How we have the first set and then there's that little section and then it's the lobby.
Oh, people go in there?
Yeah, it's happened there before. And I sometimes look, I'm like, oh my God, come on, you're making this hard for me. Like, like, no, let's like, do the exchange. So, I don't want to be a part of it. Like it doesn't really bother me, but is it funny? Sometimes it can be sometimes funny because the guys can be so nervous. That's the one thing I've noticed. The girls are, the girls are chill. They're always, carrying themselves as mature women, hey, how you doing? Had a lovely night. It gets really nice. And you could tell the guy's just like, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm nervous. Oh man. You can just tell, you can feel it, and I don't know if it's because it's a guy thing, like I was saying earlier, like I maybe a privacy thing, and maybe the guy doesn't want me to see, or like like the walls of the lobby to see per se. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's that, but yeah, it can happen. It can happen sometimes, but it's never like, oh my God, this is so awkward. No, it never gets like that. Never, never, ever. Like everyone seals the deal. It's always an awesome goodbye, and I'll see you again next time. And then you guys kind of, I love that too. You guys kind of like will either give me a look and like go upstairs, or it's always funny. I love it. I'm always there like wham, thumbs up, like there you go. That was great.
I can't even remember like what I do. I don't know. It's been a while since I've gone on a good date, so usually I just come
Nah, and
back and
also
I'm
I just
like,
got back in the door too. So even if you've had a moment, like I
that's
probably
true.
wasn't there like the last year.
That's true. That's true. The last
Uh,
year, like there was one, like my one story, and it was not when you were at the. You would have found this one funny, um, because one of my friends, I think I might have told this on the podcast. One of my basically he drove, so he picked me up, and we are just sitting and talking in his car outside, but my friend had my location, and she happened to be in the building for something, and she was like, "Oh, it's weird that Rachel's still gone, but like also not that weird." And I think like she had asked the doorman that was there, who was not Richie, if he had seen me come back, and like or to like let me know when I do come back to like call her. And it's one of my friends who's like regularly here. He knows her also. You know her too. Like, so then she had my location and she saw that I was at the building, but I wasn't inside yet.
oh, that's weird. I
And
would
I,
have been
I
tripped
hadn't
out.
and I hadn't called her. So she was like freaking out because we were sitting in the guy's car, like right outside. There's like a spot right outside.
Oh,
So we were
okay. I
just like
understand the
sitting and talking in
confusion.
the car. So
I get
she
it.
enlists one of my friends in the building, and she's like, "Hey, have you seen Rachel? Like, can you?" She like wanted her to go down and ask the doorman or whatever. And so my friend goes out to look or looks out the window, and she was
Sorry.
like, "Oh, there's a car outside." She's like, "They're probably just in the car." But, it was just
Great
funny
guess.
because finally at some point I took my phone out, I saw all the texts and calls from both of them at this point, and
You're like, oh crap.
I'm alive, don't worry.
That's funny.
And
Yeah,
then
no, I would have been like tripped out too because I would have been like, wait, it literally shows she's right here. Where is she?
yeah, I mean, it happened once before also. We weren't in a car, but I had a guy walk me home from a date, and there are, like, benches not so f like, not so far from, like, the entrance of the building. I think it's out of eyeshot of the front door, but, we were
Oh,
just,
I
like,
know what you're
sitting and
talking
talk
about.
yeah, we were just, like, sitting and talking on the benches, and my roommates had my location, and they were like, "She's here, but she's not home." So they were trying to see out the window and look and see if they could see me. They finally figured it out that we were just, like, sitting outside talking,
Yeah.
but,
They're like, bro, she's either in the lobby or downstairs.
yeah.
That's funny.
So, it's just funny. I was like, "Okay." And I was, like, shocked because when I walked in, the doorman who was on duty then, he must not have remembered that she had said anything because he didn't
Mm.
say anything to me. Um, I think I asked him the next day, and he was
Like,
like,
hey,
"Oh, yeah, I
bro.
think I forgot."
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
That,
no, it was
that's
fine.
great.
I think when I walked in, um, there were other people, like, talking to him at the desk, so, like, it was just funny.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, it happens. It happens.
Okay, so I know a lot of the females in our building chat with you about dating and stuff. Do any of
Hmm.
the guys talk to you also about it?
Mm. Honestly, no. No. I'll be real with you though. There's a lot of guys in the building, but not as much as there used to be.
Oh,
Like I
really?
remember, yeah, when there was a point a few years back, there was a few an apartment that had a lot of guys, roommates in it, and they were of Jewish faith. They were all cool too, man. I miss those guys. They were awesome, and I think they were there when I were in my early 20s, and I honestly think they're all like married. They have kids. I think some still live in the neighborhood. One time, one of the guys came by to visit, not visit, but I think a friend of his lives in our building, and I
Mhm.
saw him. I was shocked. I hadn't seen this guy in so long, and that was awesome. But no, no, I don't. They don't really ask for, at least the guys that live in our building now, no, they don't really ask for advice. They're doing their thing, man. They don't need me. They're doing their thing.
Okay. Why don't we take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then when we come back, I'll ask you some more questions.
Sounds good.
Okay. We will be right back. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Corona Crush. Are you tired of swiping on dating apps? Tired of guessing whether the cute guy or girl you keep seeing around is Jewish and or single? Then you need to run, not walk to join Corona Crush. Corona Crush is a Jewish organization working to create Jewish couples always. Corona Crush has over 30 confirmed engagements, over 22,000 members from all over the world, and has set up over 50,000 speed dates. Join the Corona Crush Facebook group and post yourself or have a friend post you and see who reaches out. Fill out the survey to sign up for virtual speed dating events happening every other week. Corona Crush is 100% free and 100% Jewish. Worst case, you end up with some stories of your own. Best case, you find the love of your life. Try it out today. Here on Sticky Situations, we tend to focus on bad dating stories, but sometimes dates do go well and lead to proposals and weddings. Who would have thought? And what do all of those require, you might be asking? Well, the answer is flowers. Who doesn't want flowers from someone they've been seeing? Don't forget, flower petals and bouquets needed for proposals. And that's even before all the flowers that go into weddings. Sticky Situations is sponsored by Primrose Flower Shop. In my opinion, Primrose is the coolest flower shop around and has the best customer service to fulfill all of your floral needs. Primrose offers a range of services from your basic bouquets to subscription services where you can get flowers delivered once a week. They deliver all over the tri state area, including Manhattan. Primrose does weddings, bar and bat mitzvahs, and other simchas. I've personally been to a wedding where Primrose did the flowers, and the work they did was beyond gorgeous. Primrose additionally offers in store proposals, including a romantic setup with candles and music. Primrose is located at 2922 Avenue M in Brooklyn, and the phone number is 929 376 9815. You can also follow Primrose on Instagram at PrimroseNY. So, if you can't get someone out of your head, buy them some flowers from Primrose. They'll either love it or they'll find you really creepy. But regardless, the flowers will be out of this world. Okay, everybody, we're back. Okay, so offline, Richie actually reminded me of one of I was gonna ask about that too. Um, about have you seen any like or do guys like send crazy like flower bouquets or anything crazy like that to girls here? Or like what's the best thing that you've seen or guys drop off?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That like you said, I had just remembered that. That's one of my favorite things when the guys want to be extra romantic. They're like, hey, hey Richie, right? You're Richie. I heard a lot about you. They hit me with it too. They get romantic with me too. They're trying to use that charm. Like, hey, buddy, they're trying to win me over. It's hilarious. They try to win me over because they're like, damn, I gotta see if this guy's gonna, hold this gift I'm trying to give this girl I'm trying to date. So it happens too. They'll come in and, hey, look, I got a bouquet coming in, or I've got some chocolates. Listen, she likes banana bread. Can you hold this for me? She comes in sometimes these guys know what time you're coming in. It's the funniest and the most adorable thing in the world because they're so infatuated. They got everything down to a science. So it happens. It absolutely does happen. And it reminds me of myself because I get like that. You end up liking a girl so much, you want to do something that it's gonna wow her. She's gonna be like, "Oh my God, this guy went this far to do this for me." I think that's the goal. I think we want to not necessarily impress you guys, but leave a great and everlasting impression that you guys are not going to forget about us and what we can bring to the table for you guys. And it happens. I've seen it. I've seen these guys do it, man. They'll pull rabbits out of a hat for you guys.
I'm still waiting for a day where someone sends me flowers to the
Oh,
building.
it's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. There's
Yeah.
somebody listening right now. They're gonna listen to this episode and they're gonna hear you say that and say, you know what, this is my moment. Let me slide in.
Yeah. Send me some flowers, everybody. Richie will hold them for me. Send them
That's
after
it.
4 o'clock though.
I love
After
that.
4 p.m.
After four though.
After 4, so Richie can hold them for me
Yeah.
until I get
That's
home.
great. That's great.
Yeah. Do you see like guys walking in to pick up dates like holding bouquets?
Um, yeah, occasionally. Occasionally. And if it does happen, sometimes, you guys will, well, not like you guys, but the whoever lives in the building and whatnot, they'll ask him, Richie, can you hold this for me until we get back? And I try to do my best to take care of it. It's funny enough, the other day, one of the tenants Ubered a bouquet of roses to one of the ladies at the building. And then later that same night, he's her boyfriend or whoever's interested in her sent her. It was what was it? Oh man, it was a treat from somewhere. Oh, it was like from like these chocolates, like from CVS. I thought it was adorable because it was so specific that clearly this guy knew exactly what she likes, and he was just trying to cheer her up. He was doing all he could. So he sent her flowers, then he sent her chocolates. It's things like that. How are you gonna do those things? You're gonna try. You're gonna do all you can. At least that's how I see things. That's how I see things. And I try to
Yeah.
tell you guys that too. If he likes you, you're gonna know. You're gonna know if he likes you. He's gonna make it clear.
Yeah. We like guys who put in effort
Yeah,
and who make
man.
it clear.
Yeah, you got to be clear with the intentions, and the actions are always gonna prove that.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you ever seen any interbuilding romances?
No, and if I and honestly, if there has been, these guys are moving in silence like ninjas because I feel like I see it all, and that I
Yeah.
can say I have not seen. That I
It's
can
so
truly say I have not
interesting.
seen.
It's so interesting because there's like
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who we live in a big building.
Huge.
So,
There's a truthfully, I think there's about almost close to 200 people in apartments. So think about the math there. If there's 200 apartments, you got to think two or four to an apartment. That's a lot of
it's a
people,
lot of
man.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like that would be interesting if there were and then they broke up. The
Yeah,
drama.
right. It'll get so toxic. Oh man, it'll
Yeah.
get messy. But on the other tip, I have the other guys that work in the building. They have told me that there have been instances where tenants moved into separate apartments. They end up getting married and moving together, having kids. I think that's happened in our building.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the older tenants, I think that happened. There's an
Wow.
older couple that has, I think, two kids that where that happened.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it's beautiful. They're thriving in the building. You probably see them every day. Like they're great. They're great people. Their kids are adorable. Their kids are adorable. It's awesome. I love it. I love them.
So, do you because I'm sure you reckon like my friends that come over. So I'm sure like when people are dating someone who like comes over a bunch, you recognize the people. Have you ever seen the same guy come around for one girl and then they break up and then he comes around for another girl?
Have I seen that? What I have seen, which was like funny because this is kind of different, but the same. It was a it was a guy that was living in the building who moved. Then I saw him come back, and he was dating someone that had currently lived in the building, and that was like,
Oh,
what the heck? Where you? Where have you been? Like, it was the funniest thing in the world, dude. That was funny. Like, and the individual he was dating, I love her to death. She's like one of my faves in the building too. So I was like, yo, this is awesome. Like, you guys, no way. Did it go anywhere? I don't know. It's not really my business, but that happened, and that was cool. I thought that was so funny. I'm like, look at you, guy. You're coming back. You missed this building. Like it was funny.
have you ever like felt like connected to somebody and then they break up and then you just never see them ever again? Like like a
Oh, I like
significant
this.
other
This
that
is
comes around?
this is a great question.
Cause
Um,
like I know at least for my friends, I can't remember like when I had a boyfriend, like if he like because I don't think we would come into the building together all the time. Cause a lot of times he would just like come in and come upstairs by himself, or like I would meet him outside and then whatever. So I don't remember like if he ever interacted with you, but
hmm
um
Probably.
probably like he's a nice guy.
More than likely,
He's
because
a
you know
nice
me, I
guy.
joke around. I joke around so
Yeah.
much. So
And like when I walk in with anyone, I'll always say hi. Um
yeah.
So even if somebody else is with me. So but yeah, like if somebody has been dating someone for a while, you have a little like bro situation, like friends, like a guy who comes in who you like, and then they break up and then you just never see them ever again.
Oh yeah, that happens, man. That happens. I've seen it plenty of times, plenty of times. Like, and then you have to get used to the new guy, and it's like, all right, or the new girl, for example, on the other end of of the stick,
Mhm.
and that's always fun. That's always fun and interesting sometimes because you can get so used to a person, like you know me. I don't want to. I'm emotional, but like not in a way of like I don't know if that's the right word. I think I should say I'm passionate. I'm very friendly. I'm a passionate person. So like when I develop, I guess I should say a friendship with someone, and then they're not there anymore. I'm like, oh damn, and you kind of got to start all over again, and it's like, oh, it's like that from that sense. Not that I don't like the individual, it has nothing to do with that. But I guess to
Yeah.
your point, yeah, like I've had those moments where a guy is not coming around anymore, and I got to get used to the new guy, and it's like, damn, but I really like the other guy, and it happens, but it's not my business, But I guess from a bro standpoint, like you said, yeah, it happens, absolutely, of course. Or if people move away and I don't see them
Yeah.
anymore, like same things. That definitely happens too. Like couples and damn, you you guys are so cool. Like that happened recently. A couple left. That it bummed me out, man. They were so cool. They lived on one of the lower floors, and they ended up moving. And the 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 young lady's husband in the building, he was a big sports fan. Big, and we were into the same sports. He was my dude, man. And he left. I was like, bro, really? Can't believe you, man. I was like, how dare you? But I'm always happy for you guys, always, no matter what, especially if it's a situation that puts you a step closer to greatness.
Yeah. Um, I guess along similar lines of like not seeing people anymore, do people usually tell you when they break up with someone, or you just kind of like don't see that person coming around?
It that depends too. Like not all tenants are always gonna be so detailed with me. I think that's a given. But there have
Mhm.
been moments where a young lady will come up to me like, Richie, this didn't work out, or if this guy comes around, tell him no, or I don't want to talk to him. That happens. Yeah, definitely. That not all the time. I don't think, not all the time. I don't think you guys always want to tell me stuff. And I completely respect that. There's moments when, listen, I try to always be in the best of moods. There's days when I probably can show it that I'm probably not my best. And hey, listen, I apologize for that, but it's sometimes it happens. Sometimes we go through things, and it sucks. It definitely does. I've dealt with it myself, and I always try to lend out some love to you guys. And if there's ever any times when you guys are down and you guys miss somebody, or if it didn't work out, I've been there, man. I've been at work suffering sometimes, sad, crying. It happens. So like I get it. I absolutely get it.
Yeah. I'm like like when I had a breakup, it was like so long ago that I don't even remember if I
So I
probably
felt
did
that.
tell
I
you.
felt that to the core, man. I've had I last. I was fun to relate to that. Sorry to cut you off. Like I was going through a breakup while I was working early on a couple of years ago, like 2016. That no, like it was a stretch of time, on and off stuff. And so I can agree with you. That feels good to say, right? Like I don't feel that anymore. I'm glad you said that. I could relate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure at the time I was like not so great, so I probably did tell
Dude,
you,
yeah.
but I don't honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I'm straight up.
I'm sure I usually tell you when there's something going on because I just talk. I like to talk.
No, yeah, and I'm here. I'm here for you guys, man. I no judgment at all, man. Listen, I've heard it all at our building, man. From anyone you can think, man. Every shape, size, color, race, everything. And I'm here for you guys. I'm here. I know how like I know how it feels in all aspects. Listen, in terms of love and in terms of health, like I've been there, like in those moments where you're not, happy with yourself, and so like I know how it feels, and I would love to help uplift somebody or give someone a good token of advice. Because again, I've been there. Like, I think we all have,
Mhm.
and if you haven't, reality is you will reach that at some point, and it's gonna make you a better person. And since I've come from there, I'm always willing to help push anybody. And if I've been sad in a relationship situation or anything, like I would love to help somebody.
Yeah. No, I definitely hear. And no, you've always been helpful to any of us that I've talked to. Like, oh, you
Mm-hmm.
have a bad day. Sometimes I feel bad because I come in, I'm all stressed, usually coming home from
Ah,
work and
talk to
tired
me.
or running
Huh?
late for something. And you're always so cheerful. And I was like, I feel bad that I'm like in
Nope.
such a bad mood.
Nah, don't ever feel bad. You should never ever feel bad. That's what I'm there. That's what I'm there for. And that's what I tell, and that's what I kind of tell. That's why I'm not. That's why I say that to the tenant. Sorry, that's why I kind of say that to you guys. Listen, I know it's never fake. I'm not there happy go jolly because I'm forcing it. Heck no, bro. Like that's miserable. Why would I? That's crazy. Imagine me faking that. That's crazy. And at the end of the day, you guys coming home, you deserve that. If I lived in a doorman building and my doorman was, hey, how you doing? Hi, or unhappy, I would be pissed. Because, like, damn, bro, hit me with a joke, bro, or something, make fun of me at least, like something. And that's why I try to give you guys, because I know the world out there is crazy sometimes, man. I don't know what you guys are dealing with at work. I don't know what you guys are dealing with your family, relationship situations. If I can make you laugh, that's it. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take it. I've hugged some tenants. There's been some times where I've hugged a tenant because they were having a bad moment. We've got emotional together. It happens. This is life, and I think that's what a doorman should be for you guys, man. Like, don't judge people. You don't know what someone's going through.
Yeah. And we always appreciate it. Even
Yeah,
my friends
man.
who don't live here are always like, Richie's my favorite doorman. My friend today told me, she's like, Richie's my favorite doorman. She lives in a doorman building.
Shout out to her. I love you. Whoever you are, I love you.
Okay. So another question is, have you ever had a tenant try to hit on you?
Have I ever had a tenant try to hit on me? I mean, I mean, probably. That's the thing, right? With
Mhm.
me, I will personally tell you, and I'm being honest, I've just recently started seeing myself as attractive, and I'm being completely honest. I'm 29 years old. I want to say for 26 years of my life, or maybe 27, I didn't appreciate who I was. I didn't really have any confidence in myself. So even if that was the case, I probably didn't see it. You know what I mean? I've never ever taken anything seriously, not even joking. A person could have probably told me straight up, like, "Hey, you a good looking," and I'm just thinking, "Oh, haha, cool," because I didn't believe it. But I mean, probably, probably. I try not to take it too serious because at the end of the day, that is work,
Yeah.
and I never ever want to ruin what I have there because it's a job. But there are so many good looking women, in the community that visit, that live in the building, like, of Jewish faith that I interact with all the time. That is not a lot. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many. You guys are gorgeous, man. That's the God honest truth. And me as a man, I have a responsibility to uphold and control myself. So I try not to slide. I try not to slide that way. Um, do I sometimes joke? Of course, man. I love joking with you guys and telling you guys that you guys look lovely, or telling you guys that I like how your hair looks, or I like that dress. I love that. You guys deserve that. You know what I mean? You going out on a Friday, I think you deserve to be like, "Oh wow, I look good today." Richie told me you deserve that. You going out now, you feeling good. I think you guys deserve that.
Thank you. I know
Absolutely.
I can say I appreciate it. I know I'm sure the other women in the building do too.
Yeah, man. I try. You gotta approach it in a respectful way, of course.
Yeah.
You can't be like, "Hey, mama, wow," like
No, I
you
never
can't
think
go
that you're
crazy.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Um, okay, do you have any other building stories that you want to share?
Oh, I have like a funny, adorable story too, like of an older elderly woman in the building that she don't even speak English, so that's why it makes the story like amazing. So I just jump right into it if you don't mind.
Sure.
Um, One time there was a tenant in the building that she had a leak. She was very old lady. She still lives there actually, and she doesn't speak English, and I think she's Russian if I'm not mistaken. She's also Jewish, but so she comes down and she's furious. She's upset. She's like, Richard, Richard, and she's like, water. She keeps saying water, so much water. And you know what? Sorry, my phone, the charger. You can see me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So she's like, Rich, there's water. There's a lot of water, and I'm trying to try and get it out of her because I really don't understand. So I'm like, you know what? Hold on, mama. I'll go upstairs. She's upset. When I tell you this, this old woman was upset. If she could grab me by my collar, she would have pulled me by my collar and dragged me upstairs. So I go up there and her apartment is flooded, not too bad, but there's a lot of water for a woman her age. She shouldn't have to deal with that. So I said,
Mhm.
hold on, I'll be back. I go get the vacuum. I start doing my job. I'm moving things around. I get it done. And at the end of it, I end up helping her out big time. And at the end, oh man, she said, she just looks at me and she gave me such the biggest hug. Like she didn't even speak any good English, but I understood her completely at that point. You know what I mean? Like she didn't need to speak English at that moment, and she gave me such a big hug, and it was just, I don't know, I just felt so loved and so appreciated. Like I felt so happy that I could help this older woman, and she just couldn't really do much for herself. So I was like, let me help her. I'm not a handyman or anything, or let me just try. I hadn't even at that time, I never even used the machine. So I was trying, and I did it. I helped her, and she made me feel so good. And now every time she sees me, she'll stop in the lobby with her walker, look at me, smile, wave at me, and she'll leave, and she'll
That's
tell
so
me she
cute.
loves me, like in her broken English. It's adorable. So that was a one that I never forgot, because she was awesome. I love my grandmas at the building, all 100 of them. There's so many of them.
That's really cute.
Yeah,
Okay. You don't have to, totally no pressure, but do you
yeah.
have any funny dating stories of your own that you would like to share?
Talking about. I remember. All right. So one time at the gym, for me, one time at the gym, I go to the gym, and I keep seeing this young lady there who I was quite fond of, and I thought she was gorgeous, and I kept trying to work myself up to it, and I was like, tomorrow's the day. Like you're gonna approach her, you're gonna try, you're gonna do this. Don't be afraid. I'm always afraid of rejection. That was always been my big thing, even to this day. And I'm learning, like as a grown man, like, dude, don't worry. The worst she's gonna say is no. Like just say something. You don't be crazy, just say something. So yeah, so the day comes. So I go up to this girl, and before I continue, I am Spanish, right? I am Puerto Rican, but my Spanish is not that good. All right, I am a fraud. I will admit this. I am a fraud. You have guys, you got to blame my parents. My mom and dad both speak Spanish, but they just did not teach me. Like I can kind of hold a conversation, like barely, like because of the job I've learned a lot though. I will say that dealing with the delivery guys, dealing with a lot of the elderly Spanish individuals in the building. So long story short, my Spanish is not that good. So I approached this girl, and she's very fit too, so I'm like really nervous because I'm like, there's no way she's gonna turn me down, there's no way. So I approached this girl and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And her English was not good, so I was stuck. So I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? So now I'm pulling out all the tricks out of the hat. I'm like, you know what, I got it. I know what I'm gonna say. I'm like, and again, pardon my Spanish. So I hope you guys, whoever understands this, is gonna laugh because this is literally what I said. I'm like, um, te gusto margaritas frisas? And she's like looking at me and she's laughing in English. What I meant to say, because I asked my dad after, and he laughed at me. He was like, "Dude, you're an idiot. What are you saying?" And I wanted to ask her, like, would you like to go get drinks, frozen margaritas? What I said to her was, did you like the frozen margarita? So I completely butchered my like my what the pickup line. I completely ruined it. This girl's looking at me like, look at this guy. What is he talking about? And I remember she was laughing. She let me down so easy. Like I ended up getting this young lady's Instagram, like it kind of works. I guess because she's like, this guy's an idiot. He's trying. Let me get some pity to him. And so that was one. My dad had me rolling. He's like, dude, what are you talking about? You said it wrong, man. I'm like, it's not my fault, man. I don't really know Spanish that well, man. So I'm over here like, do you want to get drinks? But reality, I'm like, did you like the drink? Was it good? Like, what are you saying, bro? That was funny. That was a good one too. Um, wasn't there wasn't another. Funny story. I'm always like stuttering and stuff. That's another thing about me. I never have a game plan when it comes to approaching a chick. A woman. I never have a game plan. I get stage fright. Like I'll walk up to her and just be like, yeah, never mind. Sorry. Like like it, it happens all the time. So I will say if I'm gonna give any dating advice, fellas and ladies, be prepared. Be prepared. You know, observe, study the game. Know study your opponent per se. Know what you're getting into. Know what they like. Know the dislikes. If read the body language. That body language is everything. Body language is everything. You're gonna know immediately if this individual likes you or dislikes you just off the body language. You say something, they move a certain way, they twitch a little bit, they laugh. You get someone to laugh, it's over. They open. You got it. You in there. That's the laugh is everything. So again, body language and just be prepared. Don't just walk up to a guy or a girl and you got no game plan. They're gonna look at you and be like, all right, next. Because you know what I mean? Like I do it all the time. I stutter. Like I'm talking to you. Sometimes in certain parts of these stories, I'm stuttering or I'm tripping over my words. It happens. So I get
Mhm.
nervous. I think naturally we all do. But
Yeah.
but yeah, just that's it. Just be prepared. Body language, body language, body language, man. Eye contact is also big. I'm big on eye contact. I think can it be intimidating? Yes, I think so. I get nervous sometimes if I'm having a conversation with a guy, just a regular conversation or a young lady. And sometimes I find myself looking away because it's like, oh my god, like this person's gaze is piercing through my eyes. I feel like I can. It's like this a staring contest, like so I get that, but sometimes girls I think feel more intimate, for the guys obviously. I think girls feel more intimate when you're talking to them and you're sharing eye contact. It kind of feels like you're more engaged. You actually care for what she's talking about. You know, yeah, yeah.
No, I agree. It's body language is everything. Like, I don't know. I'm the type of person who I'm not good at faking how I feel. So
Exactly, Rachel.
like
And I think,
I'm
and I
sh-
think, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm sure like bring it back to like I don't know, if a guy were to like come pick me up from the building, like any observer could tell the second that like I see him, like my thoughts, like within the first like minute probably.
Yeah.
Any observer can see like the body language and I'm very easy to read with that.
Uh
I to my own detriment sometimes. Cuz
My
sometimes
sister's like that. That's
sometimes
funny.
it does get misread because sometimes I'm very neutral, but I might give off the appearance of uninterested. When in
Hmm.
reality it's not that I'm not interested, I'm just like not interested. Like I'm not actively not interested. I'm just like I'm not it's like a more passive like, "Oh, okay."
No,
But
and I
like
get,
it's still like neutral, but like a lot of people will take that as, "Oh, like she is not interested at
she doesn't
all.
care.
She
No,
doesn't
no, you know
care."
what? I get that though. But you know why you like that, Rachel? You know why it might come across like that? It's because whoever the individual is, he's not approaching you with confidence. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not sure. That's literally serious. That's what it is. Because they're not approaching you with real confidence. They're not giving you that reassurance. They're like kind of tiptoeing. They're like, oh, I'm not sure. So if you as a woman, look naturally, right? There's hunters and there's gatherers. You understand what I mean? There's
Yeah.
the women, like, if we're going to take it as far back as we can, right? Naturally, a guy's going to go out, be the man. He's going to hunt. He's going to, hey, my lady. And he's going to be, and the energy there is, I want the protection. I want someone to make me feel safe. If you as a woman don't feel that from a guy, that's exactly how you're gonna react. You're gonna be like, I don't know about this dude. I don't know. That's the energy. That's naturally what's gonna happen because he's not giving you the reassurance and he's not giving you that energy to show, listen, you safe for me. This is what it is. This is what's gonna be. We're cool together, me and you. This is gonna rock. You know that because I think that's from what I've from my situations, right? I have friends that have dated a lot of girls. You know, they've I've gotten a lot of my what I got. How I operate, I've learned from friends. You know, like they've given me tips and Rich, you should do that or you should do like this. So you know, I can say that thanks to my friends, I've learned a lot through them too, and how to approach women and how to deal with women in certain situations and with relationships. But oh man, what was my point? I got so distracted with my thought. Um,
All good.
uh, no, yeah, because I remember how I used to be in my old relationship. My ex girlfriend always used to tell me, "I feel like you're tiptoeing around me. I feel like you're afraid to be yourself around. Not afraid to be yourself, but you're afraid to get me upset, or I feel like you know." And and it stuck with me, and you know, I kind of applied that for the future because if you don't learn from your mistakes in your past relationships, they're gonna just keep on occurring in the future. So you know,
Yeah.
you kind of gotta polish up. So all that to say is, I know now when I'm dealing with a woman to not to act like a man, or basically, you know, like you know, to cut to the chase, to just act like a man. Don't be abrasive, don't be aggressive, but cater to her the way she needs to be catered to. Provide her with the reassurance, show her that around you she is safe. You know that like that's how a woman should be approached. You know what I mean? And I think that's what ladies look for.
Yeah. I agree.
At least that's how I think our parents were. You know what I mean? I think the old school, I think they got it right. You know what I mean? They knew they were very and I think that's the way I am because of my parents, man. Like I'm just an old school guy. So I feel like the old school got it right. Nowadays, things are kind of different. A lot of the technology, you got social media, so things get kind of caught up, you know. Think of it this way, man. When our parents were dating and whatnot. There was beepers and stuff like that. You know, there wasn't an iPhone. You couldn't talk on FaceTime. So when you were dating somebody, you really cared about that individual because you were going out of your way to go pick up a payphone or talk on the phone real fast for a few minutes out of a time. Or hey, listen, we're gonna meet up at 7:30. Don't be late. And you were gonna be there. You weren't gonna be late. Nowadays, people
Yeah.
5-10 minutes late because you know this phone in our hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The communication's always there, so you don't get to miss the person. Back then, they really loved each other, man. I really feel that way. I'm not saying nowadays it's not as pure, but back then, I really feel that the love and everything was just so much more like stronger. There was a stronger foundation.
Yeah. No, it's definitely people get caught up in the technology of it today, the constant communication, and like sometimes you establish connections that like feel one way but aren't actually genuine just because you're in constant communication. Um and people don't try as hard. That's what I find. People just don't
Yeah,
try as
man.
hard.
Straight up.
Do you ever see things that go down with like tenants and like their dates, either from what we've told you or you witness that you learn and apply to your own life?
Good question. Good question. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, I think it's because of the job. I'm not going to say because of the job, but no, yeah, I think I can credit that. Seeing certain ways that the guys have been romantic with you, how certain guys have been romantic with the tenants in the building and vice versa. I've
Mhm.
definitely taken certain things like that. Like, you know, certain types of flowers, learning about different roses, the different shades of colored roses that come in. And I'm like, damn, those are some nice flowers. Or, damn, that was a good idea. This guy sent her banana bread or banana pudding or from Magnolia. Yo, that was a good idea. You know, things like that. I think about that all the time, all the time. You know, or like just just the reassurance that doing those things makes you guys happy shows that it works. If you do it,
Yeah.
it works. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
don't think, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a sucker or I don't want to be a what's the word? Like I don't want to be a simp or something like that. Whatever it is nowadays, man. Oh, I'm a simp, dude. Listen, if you don't mind, I will really dig into that right now. Being a simp, there's nothing wrong with being a simp, man. Listen, you if you love a woman, you gotta be a simp. If you like this girl, you have to be. Listen, if you're in a relationship and you're not a simp, your girl's gonna leave you. Guys,
I
listen
agree.
up. Guys, listen up. If you want a relationship, she's your girlfriend or she's your wife. If you want her to be your wife, if you're not a simp or whatever it is, she's gonna leave you, brother. She's not gonna want to deal with you, man, because she's what that says to me is you're not willing to do whatever it is to make your lady happy. And at the end of the day, obviously it should be reciprocated. But as a man, from what I've grown up and seen, my dad and my mom, I, my that's just how I see things, man. Your dad, you want to make your girl happy. That's just as simple as it is. And I've always seen that from my dad with my mom. When they were together, they're not together anymore. But the point is, like, that's just all I know. Just
Yeah.
you do what you can for your lady, and you're not a sucker for making her happy, going out of your way to cook dinner, do the dishes, or just making her happy, send her something, some roses. Hey, you want coffee? Picking up, running by her job, dropping something off, and leaving. You're not a sucker for that, man. There's no shame in that, man. That's called love. You love her, bro. That's just life. I think everybody should experience dumb love like that. Being drunken in love, as they say. Everyone should experience that.
Hmm. I agree. Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
man. I'm passionate about this stuff, man. People are afraid to show their emotions, man, and not me, man. I'm a Cancer, so I don't want to dig too deep into the horoscopes, but it makes me laugh because that's who I am to a T. And that's why that stuff makes me laugh. Because as much as I try to deny that, I'm like, oh, I guess I am a Cancer because I'm so emotional and I'm very passionate. So yeah,
Yeah, I fit a lot of my horoscope qualities
no,
and
it's
traits.
hilarious. It's
I'm
so that
definitely a
stuff.
Scorpio. Scorpio through
My
and
two of my
through.
best friends are Scorpios, man. So
Yeah. Okay, Richie. Um, I know time has flown. Do you have any other stories, insights, anything you want to share before we wrap up the episode?
stories, insights. Guess like if I may, I mean, in terms of insights, I guess don't be afraid to look out for one another. You never really know what a person's dealing with. Try to take into account what we're all, what's going on, in each other's lives. To you, things might not be as tough, but you don't know how bad the other person might got it, and vice versa. And just show some love, man. If you can make someone's day, or just by saying thank you, or by saying, hey, it means a lot. And I guess just kind of just show the love, spread the love. That's just how I try to approach life. And I think we all should always do that. You know what I mean? That's just my thing. If I could, say one thing.
Yeah.
If that was, I know that sounded so redundant, so I apologize. But
No, it's all good.
just show some love, people. Show some love, baby.
Okay, Richie, before we wrap up, I know we've talked a lot about advice and dating and everything. Can you give me and my listeners just one piece of dating advice?
One piece of dating advice: be patient. Be patient. If there's any key advice that I could give you that my dad gave me, was to be patient. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm 29. Like I said in the beginning, I turned 30 in July. The way that I visioned it when I was in high school, my life was already wrapped up by now. I thought I was going to have maybe 2 kids. I thought I was going to be married. I wanted to enter my 30s established. I wanted to have kids already. I wanted to be married. And at the end of the day, you got to be patient. There's no rush. And I'm not mad. I'm not at that point in my life. I'm not, because at the end of the day, all we have is time. And to be honest, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I would have been ready to have that. Like,
Hmm.
thinking back, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. But the truth is, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't. And I think it's going to take time for me to reach that. And like I said, I can't wait for it. I want a family. I love kids. I love love. I love to love. You know, like that's something I'm passionate about, and I can't wait until it happens. I love weddings. I would love to have a wedding. My cousin had a wedding recently, and it was amazing, man. It was inspiring. You know, looking at my cousin, it wanted me. I wanted to be more mature as a man. You know, approach life on a more serious note. You know, so my all that to say, show some patience, and it's gonna happen for you. It's gonna happen for you because it's gonna happen for me, and it's gonna happen for all of us. We're all gonna find that person. We're gonna get that house. We're gonna, make that big happy family, and it's gonna happen. And if you don't want a family, if you don't want what society paints as, the American dream or whatever have you, it's okay. If you want to just be with your person and it's just you guys, cool. If you want to be single, cool. At the end of the day, be happy. Be happy. That's all. I think that too, just to be happy and show some patience.
That's good. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay. And Richie, last but not least, do you have your tagline?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, let's hear your
You
tagline.
want me to hit you with it?
Yeah.
Listen, man. Look, man. In life, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh in life. Because if you don't, life is gonna laugh at you. Life is it's a big game out there, baby. So all you gotta do is laugh. Because if you don't, you're gonna get laughed at.
That's a good one. I really like it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, Richie, this has been so much fun. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
I feel
coming
like
on
we
the
could keep.
pod.
I feel like we could keep going, man. Like this was good. We
I
gotta
know
do
this
this
is
again.
this is like a regular Friday night conversation when I'm coming back from Shabbat dinner. Like,
And this is why. And this it literally though. This is why I didn't mind because it's not like we haven't had conversations like this before. So I knew it was gonna be as natural could be. I feel like
yeah.
I'm talking to one of my homies, on Facetime, man. Like this is normal, And like I said, we can do it again. But the next time I'll have something even funnier for you. Like
For sure.
it was a true pleasure, and I was excited. I was definitely nervous, of course, but we cool. So it
Yeah.
was ice cold, man. I enjoyed myself.
Okay, good. I'm really happy. And thank you again so much. Sticky Situation Nation, you'll catch me next time. Also, like, if you really want more mad dating advice, just stop by the building and ask Richie for advice. I'm not going to tell you where the building is because I don't want you to stalk me. But like, if you know, then come talk to Richie.
As
If
they
you
say, if you know, you know.
you know, you know. So, Sticky Situation Nation, you'll catch me next time. Bye, everybody.